Now I am here today with.
My name is Michael Mullen. I'm the general manager here at the Titanic Artifact Exhibition. We've been at this location a little over 10 years now. We are a permanent facility here and look to be here for a long time in the future. We have all sorts of groups that come through here, anywhere from school, from all ages, from elementary up to high school. We have senior groups, senior citizen groups that come through here. Really, anybody that's interested in learning about the Titanic and the history that it provides.
I remember the day in where I was sitting in school the first time that I was introduced to the Titanic, and of all the ships that have sailed, and of all the ships that have unfortunately sunk over the years, what is it about the Titanic that fascinates us more than most?
I believe in my time here and what I've learned has been more the history of what the stories have to offer. It seems like everybody can relate to a story personally to them regarding the passengers, whether it be first, second, or third class, or even a crew member. It just depends on how each person relates as they walk through and what artifacts kind of pull to them. We have over 150 artifacts on display here, which is a wide variety of anything from the Titanic being built in Belfast all the way through until its final moments.
I noticed that some of the plaques have the White Star logo on them, and some of them don't. What are the differences?
That's correct. What we're trying to help our passengers and customers realize is that the information that has a White Star Line insignia on the top of the black placard is actually letting you know that that is an actual documented artifact that is from the seafloor. So that way you can depict an actual artifact from a memorabilia piece that might be helping you relate to the era.
What is the largest piece you have here on display here?
Our largest piece is what we call the Little Big Piece. It is a 2-ton piece that is from D-Deck. It is the second largest piece ever to be recovered from the Titanic. It is actually originally was one set piece that was eventually split into two separate pieces. Las Vegas and at the Luxor Hotel has the Big piece, which is a 15 to 17-ton piece. We have the 2-ton piece, which is the bottom half of that, that is here at our location.
And what was the reason for separating the pieces?
The sheer mass of how the weight of it when it was being pulled out of the water. Initially, when it rose, the chains and the support ropes broke, and unfortunately, the whole piece fell right back down again. So instead of trying to raise the entire piece, they cut it, and so they gave us the bottom half, and Las Vegas, has the big piece, which is the larger piece. We have a full immersive experience for each of our customers with a wide variety of different options that they can choose. One particular that I would like to mention is our dinner show that we offer on Friday and Saturday nights. It's a great experience. It provides a little bit of history, some entertainment while you're enjoying a wonderful 5-course meal. And then also at the same time, we have 5 actors that are replaying the final moments of the Titanic in the designated rooms that we have. There's a total of 17 rooms in our exhibition here, and what we want to do is put the customer in the place of a passenger as on board of the Titanic, and then at that time, once dinner is over, we basically start recreating those moments and start maybe giving a different perspective to our passengers of what those passengers that unfortunately passed away happened to encounter, along with those that survived.
All right, now can you tell us a little more about this boarding pass that I have? I have not looked at the board yet, so I have no spoilers yet.
Yes, these boarding passes are basically these are your boarding passes to get entry on board the ship. We hand each one of these to a customer or passenger that is boarding. These boarding passes are actual passengers that were on board of the Titanic, and at the end of your journey, you'll find out if your passenger that you're representing was successful in surviving or unfortunately had passed.
Hello, sir. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Well, hello there. My name is Isidor Strauss. You don't
Oh.
recognize me.
No, I've definitely heard the name. It sounds familiar.
Of course you heard the name. I'm the owner of Macy's department store.
Oh, fabulous.
Also, Abraham and Strauss. Have you ever been in Brooklyn? I own those
Not
stores in
recently.
Brooklyn. Me and my brother Nathan. We own Abraham and Strauss and Macy's.
Nice. So, are you here on as a business trip?
No, I was vacationing with my wife, and we're visiting with our daughter in Germany and
Oh,
France,
very nice.
and we're returning back to New York. The children, they thought I was working too hard, so they put me on the ship. Papa, why don't you go to Europe, have a good time? So that's how I find myself. My wife, my maid, her maid, and my valet. So we are 4 of the 1,316 passengers aboard the Titanic. Imagine that.
Oh, wow, sounds like you have a very nice, caring family who looks after you, which is very nice. Speaking of very nice, this staircase, I mean, wow.
Oh, isn't this nice? Mr. Andrews, I like Mr. Andrews. He's a very nice
yes,
man.
yes.
He was telling me a lot about the staircase. It is all made out of golden oak.
Wow.
Imagine that, hand carved like that. And all of the brass and bronze fixtures all around. I was looking at that because I think I'm going to put it in Macy's like that.
That's a good idea.
And up on the top over there's a dome made out of Italian frosted glass
Wow.
in raw iron. In the middle of the dome is a chandelier with 150 Austrian crystals.
Wow, spare no expense, right?
No, and in the daytime, the sun hits the crystals, and it makes dancing rainbows all around the room.
Wow.
You should have seen my wife either. One afternoon, she got dressed up in one of the fancy dresses, and then she came walking down the staircase surrounded by all of the dancing rainbows.
Nice.
We are in the Millionaire Suite. Only 2 of these were on board the ship.
Can you tell me a little bit more about this suite? Because it looks fabulous.
Well, this room, of course, belonged to Mr. John Jacob Astor and his wife, Madeline Astor, 18 at the time. And in a delicate state, I hear, but I'm afraid I don't gossip. But these floors were hand-polished, made out of hand-woven Italian rugs. We got spruce paneling on the walls and the silver lamps. To your left, you have your own... Oh, excuse me. To your left, you have your own personal look off the side of the ship. And to the right, you have your servants' bedrooms and your bedroom and your own personal bathroom.
Oh, very nice. So about I heard this ship is very progressive. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Very much so. In fact, our swimming pools, we have an hour allocated to the women for them to swim. They're heated as well, though we have to change the water every night after the women swim, of course. Wouldn't be very good to have the men swimming after the women. No, very progressive we are. As well as, have you tried the exercising booth on board?
I have not yet, but I've just arrived, so there's plenty of time.
I would recommend going there. It's right at the top of the grand staircase. You can't miss it. I'd recommend the mechanical camel. It's very new on board. You might see a few children roaming around the gymnasium as well.
Hi, and your name is, sir?
I'm Thomas Andrews Jr., head designer of Titanic, so delighted to welcome you aboard here today.
Oh, great. Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. This is an amazing ship. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Well, of course, we designed it to be the most luxurious, magnificent ship ever created. One of the first things anyone sees at Titanic is the 4 large smokestacks right on top. Now, sometimes we call them funnels. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but only 3 of them actually work. See, the 4th one was a dummy. It was added because in 1912, the most magnificent ships had to have 4 funnels. But do you know how many of them actually smoke?
I do not.
All 4. See, the 4th we built over the smoker's lounge. So by the way, the first 3 smoke coal exhaust, the 4th smokes tobacco.
All right, yeah, I guess it wouldn't be much of a dummy if it didn't actually have anything coming out of it.
Exactly.
You might try to fool them, but not that easily.
Not quite as much.
Anything about this grand staircase besides it being fantastic and amazing?
I mean, it's built with golden oak, lots of fantastic details. I know Mr. Strauss told you most of the details about that, so don't want to repeat ourselves.
I didn't know if you knew a thing or two that he may not as a designer. I've heard that what is the difference between the classes?
Well, we've got 3 distinct classes. Now, who are you traveling with today? You're first, second, or third class passenger?
I am second class.
Second class, lovely. Well, now, if you're first class, you'll be traveling with all the modern conveniences of the time. You have telephones, heaters, wardrobe rooms, private baths. Oh, and for the very first time ever, everyone on board will have flushing toilets. You should be a lot more excited about that one. Now, second class cabins are actually built to be just as nice as first class on any other previous liner. Your beds are built right in the walls. It's very comfy indeed. Now, if you are third class is a little bit different situation. You'll be sharing bunk beds as well as bathrooms. There are 2 bathtubs for all 710 of the third class passengers, so you have to get up quite early in the morning if you want to have a scrub. But on any other liner, third class, if they wanted something to eat, normally they'd have to bring their own provisions. But aboard Titanic, we feed third class 3 times a day.
That is a look at Titanic, the Artifact Exhibition. Thank you very much to the staff for letting me interview them and the different actors, to give you an idea of what you can see. Hopefully, if you're going to be in the Orlando area, you'll consider stopping and checking this out. If you are at all interested in the history of the Titanic, or would just like to see some artifacts pulled from the ship and the area where it rests currently. Thanks for watching this video all the way through, and please exit through the gift shop. $14.99 for this nice Titanic mug. $18 for this box of tea. $14.99 for this boarding pass tea towel. $5.99 for these tall shot glasses. $7.99 for these shot glasses. These are actually on the bottom. $5.99 for these. And $7.99 for these blueprint shot glasses.